So the House just voted 357 to 65 to block the release of the congressional sexual misconduct reports. Does this surprise anybody? Both the Republicans and the Democrats, they could have released the Epstein files. Well, not the Republicans have released it, but has there been any arrests? You know that they have like 3.5 million files that they haven't released, which I don't want them all released because there's probably like child porn in there and that should not be released. But I think that, this is just me connecting dots. I think that Jeffrey Epstein, like they had, as far as what I know, he had cameras on there and he probably blackmailed these people. We're not going to arrest the elites, the same people who wouldn't release Epstein files, won't release the sexual harassment, misconductation reports showing us all who they are. They defend each other. It doesn't matter Republican or Democrat. I watched Nick Fuentes and he's saying he's gonna vote Democrat, and I don't blame him. I'm not gonna go to that extent. I'm just not gonna vote. I don't see a reason for it. I'm disgusted in both sides. I don't think either side represents me. I think that what the Democrats do, they do stupid shit. And I also know that if they do gain power, like true power, they're not going to keep the destruction going. They'll destroy to get power, but once they get the power, they'll stop the destruction, because what are you ruling over? But, what we're dealing with right now, like what we're seeing, MAGA, I'm seeing basically the only people who really support MAGA at this point are popular people and people still brainwashed on Twitter. I don't see a single MAGA hat paraphernalia anywhere I go, and I'm in a pretty red area, and people aren't wearing the shirts, the hoodies, the hats. You would think that if people are really supportive of MAGA, you would see it out in droves since Trump is president. And it's sad. It really is sad, because like I voted for the guy and I like defended the guy for many years. I was called a racist, and I was called a sexist and misogynistic. Well, you can call me misogynistic. I don't really care. And a Nazi. And the funny thing is, now that I'm pushing a back against MAGA, who rejected me, by the way, multiple times, the cult following of Cat Turd, like they rejected me, and Trump, when we wanted the Epstein files released back in July, he basically started throwing a hissy fit, and he said he didn't need us anymore, and I was like, okay, fuck you. That's when everything came off, and when he won, that's when I took all the paraphernalia off. I took all the Trump. I was thinking maybe I'll turn Democrat now, like just to balance things, so we could have because I think like we don't need radicals. I think we need moderates in charge on either side. I think that's the best. That's how it worked well. I'm like, well, if we have the moderate Republicans in there, then we need moderate Democrats, and maybe I'll try to become it's just like just an idea I had, but it doesn't. I don't really care about either side. I don't label myself. I don't label. I think the only thing I label myself is basically at this point is a slave, a wage slave. That's all I am. But I don't label myself any of that other stuff. Human. I'm a human American. But it's like it's pretty fucking sad how much I gave this I gave effort to this cause. I thought this was it. I thought this was gonna save America. I really did. I ignored Trump not putting his hand on the Bible when he swore it in, like he did the first term. And I look past that he said like, oh, Israel, greatest ally. I kind of like, okay, I like that these other stuff he's saying. Hopefully, he says he's not for new wars. He's a peace, and it's just like I was duped, and it was not only was I duped, but he got elected again, so a good majority of America was duped as well. So, you could say I failed, I'm stupid, whatever. And it looks like David Icke could be right, and I don't know. It's just like you see all these people pushing for him and saying, "Oh, like the only thing the Republicans have to offer me is don't. If you don't vote for us, then the Democrats will be in charge." And it's like, I'm fucking sick of being the fucking elite slave, who protect pedos, and these politicians just get away with whatever the fuck that they want, and there's so much corruption, and I'm just supposed to sit here like a good little boy and pay my taxes and go to work and stay out of trouble and get nowhere in life. It's funny, these people who block me. Like, I just found out that Gunther guy blocked me, and the way I found out, because I don't follow him no more. He was following me at one point. He showed up on my newsfeed. I couldn't comment, and what pisses me off is if somebody blocks me, they shouldn't show up on my newsfeed. I don't want to see. If I can't comment on your stuff, you shouldn't show up on my newsfeed. And if I do, what's funny too is if I ever do gain any type of success, which I doubt it, but I'm saying if I do, I am taking notes of all the people who have blocked me, because like they'll be like little bloodsuckers, that little parasites that try to get their 15 minutes of fame or whatever. Like, they had their chance to help bring me up, but they chose to reject me, ignore me, and block me. So if there is a world or dimension that I go into in the future where I do gain immense success, which at this point I really don't give a fuck. I just kind of just don't give a fuck about whatever anymore. I mean, I think I'm out of fucks to give, and that's why I'm just like, I guess accelerationist is the best. I was thinking this before, and I wanted to give Trump a chance. He's our last effort, and obviously that has failed. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully this all turns out good. The strikes in Iran I was so against it, and it turned out like nothing big happened. I thought like this was gonna happen if we struck Iran about a year ago, and I was against it, and I got the pushback from the cult. Um, but yeah, I'm not optimistic about the Trump administration. Gas prices went up. They went up 20 cents on Monday, like I said, and I think they'll probably keep going up. That means the prices will go up. I don't know what golden age this is. Golden age for more war. It kind of seems like the Bush administration. I mean, I don't know what to say. I agree with a lot of what Nick Fuentes is saying on this aspect. You know, I disagree, and this shows that I'm not in a cult. Some Nick Fuentes cult, some Tim Cass cult. Like I have no problem like disagreeing with these people. I just got in a spat with Phil Labonte last night, and basically he just called me. He basically had no argument. He just called me. He called me dumb. He just kept insulting me. If you just go on my Twitter, you'll find him. Just go to my replies, and you'll see if you really are interested. But I respect Phil. I like Phil. I like his music. I like a lot of his takes. I think that when he hosts Timcast, I'm kind of bored with it, and I don't really pay attention as much. But a lot of him, like his beliefs and mine, are pretty similar in a lot of ways. So I felt like I was pretty respectful in our little Twitter going back and forth. But I basically said that I think that rich people are parasites, and we need to have a $500,000 personal asset cap. And when I say 500,000, 500,000 means like $15 an hour. That's basically what it is, because I think that could tank the economy. Somebody's like, well, the houses are like, the house prices are way overpriced. We all know, like, they need to come down. Like, there's no need for the prices to be as high as they are. It's pretty ridiculous. But he basically kept calling me dumb, and it's an idea, but when I said that we should have a $500,000 cap, I basically said that we need this because AI is taking our jobs, and we need a safety net so that basically it's like to help out the rich so that they don't really literally get eaten. Like, that's gonna happen. Like, if we keep going down what we're doing right now and we just do nothing, we'll have some type of collapse. We'll have people won't be able to afford food. They won't be able, like, it's really hard to survive out here. And I hear all these people calling me losers, and it's like, dude, do you understand how many people are struggling out here, and how, like, that's cool that you're doing good, but a lot of people are in my position, and you did serious, dude. Some of it, yes, some of it that I have done it to myself, and I take responsibility, and but it's like, it's not all my fault. It's not all my fault. It's not all of our fault that we're in this position. It's because these leeches at the top who don't need to make the CEO, the average CEO makes 280 times more than the bottom worker. That's the average CEO in America. And then to top it off, the government won't stop devaluing the dollar, lowering our purchasing price. Like, I am not sitting here I'm not like the Republicans, blah blah blah, the government's horrible, or like the Democrats, blah blah blah, it's the green. It's both are the fucking problem, man. So I try to offer a solution, I get called stupid. And like, what is yours? Just keep, no, just like, this is what elite people, these rich people, these popular people, to shut the fuck up, quit bitching, and get back to work. I don't give a fuck about your life. That's basically what they're saying to me. And this is why I'm losing respect for popular people. And I hope I keep getting more immune and stop really giving a fuck what these people think. Because if I ever do gain any type of traction, I am going to be in their sphere. And I think that I deserve to be in their sphere. I think I have something to offer. But it doesn't, it's not because a personal gain. Like, I don't, he said I was envious. I don't give a fuck about your riches, Phil. Like, that's cool that you are a rock star and you have a lot of money and a lot of assets and you're in a good spot. Cool, man. Like, I don't give a shit. Like me, I just want to be able to work, and be in a better spot than I was yesterday. Like, I don't understand like how that's such a hard thing for these people to understand. Is like, when we go out, do these jobs with you fucks, you Phil Abante, who, makes music. I do too. Cool, dude. Oh, you make content. I do too. Cool, dude. Like, I do this shit for fucking free. It's not a big fucking deal. The difference between me and Phil is, number one, I had my kids way back when I was young, in my youth, when I was 24, when you're supposed to have kids. That's traditional. When he's just popping out his fucking first kid and he's in his fucking 50s, Tim Pool, he's popping out his first kid and he's he's almost 40, dude. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, if you're my age and you're trying to have kids, I always thought to myself, I would not want to be that old guy at the park trying to keep up with my kids. I would, that's just so weird. I wanted the energy. I wanted to be able to, I didn't want to be, and yeah, Phil's in great shape. I mean, he has, all he has to really do is, his little Tim Pool show or whatever, and then collect off of his assets and his royalties, so he can just go to the gym and probably doesn't have as much to worry about when, like, going, like, he chooses to be on Timcast. That's his choice. I think, I think he's worth 2.2 million or something like that, his value, which is cool. And it's like, but I'm not really envious of you, Phil. I'm not. I don't really fucking care about your luxury. The luxury isn't what I'm after. It's just basically the security, to be able to go work a job like I'm working right now, and to be able to afford health insurance and not have the government continuously printing money to fucking with the prices. Like, what? Like, there's no stability. Like, I don't understand. These people don't have to worry about it. These people are stable. They have their assets. They don't have to think too far ahead. Like, they can think farther ahead than me because they have assets. They're good, And I hear all these people, like, these people are, like, sitting here, like, lambasting me on there. Like, you're a piece of shit. It's like, dude, fuck you. Like, we didn't all come from the same place, man. Bad things happen to good people. A lot of us are good people. We're doing the right things, or try. Some of us aren't. Some of us is fucked up. But it's like, yeah, I fucked up. And who hasn't fucked up? Let me ask you a question. If you're viewing this, have you made any mistakes financially in your life? Have you done everything completely perfect? I'm just wondering, because, like, they say if you make mistakes, that's how you learn. Even, like, the elites have made mistakes. They've admitted to making mistakes. You know what I mean? And so it's like, you make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But just because you make mistakes, it doesn't mean that you have to deal with debt servitude for the rest of your life. And then he put up some type of stat saying, like, 97% of rich people pay for federal taxes or some shit. And I'm like, Maybe that's true. Listen, I don't fucking know because I don't go into. I've heard different things where, they pay most of everything. That's what they say. But then you hear things of like these people avoiding taxes as well by like doing loopholes. So it's kind of like I don't know what to fucking believe with that, but maybe they're right. But it's just like, but are you saying that I don't pay with inflation? You know what I mean? Like the government prints money. Okay. The reason why, because I look at myself, so I need to look here. I keep forgetting. The reason why um, the government can pay for everything because they keep printing money, lowering our purchasing power, making the prices higher. Um, it's like we pay for that. Why is your life lower standard? And it's because they don't want to pay us for sure. These companies don't want to pay us. They want to give us a real raise. But it's also the government, which is the main problem is the government printing out, and and I don't think that they can stop at this point. I really don't. When our budget, when we go over 1.5 trillion every year and we're not cutting back, like we have to continuously rely on us, the consumer, to pay. It's a hidden tax, okay? um and for these people to be like, dude, and then they ignore stuff like this where um they're good with their assets, they have more money. Regular people, they don't have a lot of money, you know what I mean? Like, I lost my job last year. I went almost 4 months without a job. I even moved to another state. Now I moved in with family, so that helped out. But I had to sell some of my assets, and they did good when I sold them, uh, which I didn't want to, but I felt like I had to. Now I'm gonna have to pay capital gains tax on that. I had to get on my 401k and sell that shit because I had to survive. Now, like, I did pay on that. I didn't get my full $24,000. I only got 17,000. But I'm gonna have to probably pay more on that, and that's got me stressed out as well. That I'm gonna have to pay. It's like, dude, what the fuck? I'm trying to consolidate my debt. I'm trying not to go bankrupt. I'm trying not to like lose everything. And like you people, I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm staying out of trouble. You know what I mean? I just quit smoking weed, uh, in December, late December, so I can get a different job, which I did. Now I work closer to home. I make a little bit less, but I work a lot closer. So like if my car breaks, I can actually walk to work or ride a bike to work, or maybe somebody I can make friends with somebody and somebody can pick me up, and you know what I mean? It's like it's like I'm making these choices. I'm trying to continuously adapt, and these motherfuckers, they just think it because they have it so easy. They live in a fucking bubble. They don't live like the rest of us when we fucking struggle. And maybe it's just me that's struggling, and it's just the internet that's struggling. It kind of seems like when I go out in the real world, people are fine, but they're not. I see the look on people's faces. I see it. A lot of people just aren't joyous. They're not happy. Um, and I live in a really like small, like to me it's a really small town, but like it's a small town. You know what I mean? It's a legit small town. It's a beautiful town. I love it. But like they're not as welcome. And maybe it's because I'm a stranger or whatever, but smaller town people usually, but I think there's a lot of stress, financial stress on everybody, and it's so weird to have these rich and popular people just like spit in your fucking face. Like, fuck you. get your ass back to work. Vote for Republican. Just get out there and vote Republican because don't want the Democrats in there. Yeah, I don't want the Democrats in there, but I don't want the Republicans in there either. I kind of, at the time I was like, Trump is good. I like Trump, but I'm like holding my nose or voting for those Republicans who, you know, it's like I thought Trump was legit his first term, but like this one so far, I don't see shit. I see, he closed the border. Sure, that's cool. He's enforcing the border laws. Um, he's not deporting as many people as Biden has done his last term, but there's been 2.2 million people have been deported, uh, self deported, which is good, and I'll give him credit for that. It's his propaganda. People aren't flooding our country anymore. Um, but it's like I don't want either of them in there. I don't like either one of them, and to see like Congress continuously show their corruption, it's like I don't want Congress anymore. I don't want the Senate. I want the whole thing fucking overthrown. Um, at least reformed, but I don't think we'll have reform. I just don't. The reform would be we get rid of Congress completely and we just directly vote ourselves. But I don't think we'll get that. We have all these old people in there that, Gen X is some of the biggest fucking pussies. I swear to God, dude. Like, everyone's so afraid of Gen X. Gen X is like all looked at like they're so fucking. Everyone's scared to tell, like, say it how it is. Why are these old boomers still in there? Why is Mitch McConnell being wheelchaired in there? Why was Nancy Pelosi in there? Like 85 in there. Trump's 79. He's in there. Biden was like 81 in there. Why do we have these old fucking boomers in there? Because Gen X just sat there and don't do shit. I don't give a fuck. And then it's like, now they are. A lot of these people are starting to turn into boomers. It's kind of funny. Maybe I'll be a boomer pretty soon. Hopefully not. I try to be fair. Like what the biggest thing for me is Gen Z, dude. I got fucking kids that are Gen Z, dude. So it's like I want to see good for these kids. I think these kids have been shafted. I think a lot of these kids have been raised in an unnatural way. And I think that it's really fucked up that divorce is looked at as normal nowadays. It's normal for your parents to split up. It's kind of weird. It's more weird for your parents to stay together and have a loving relationship. It's more weird to come from like a support and like because I grew up like this. I grew up from a divorced family, isolation and stuff like that. I might get my memoir finished and stuff like that and release it. I think it's pretty relatable to some people. There's a lot of I felt like I was raised with like not a lot of accountability, trying to avoid accountability, but now like I accept accountability. I'm not trying to run from it. I criticize myself, I don't try to be like, oh, try to act like I'm the perfect, presenting myself as perfect. I'm flawless. I don't make any mistakes. I criticize myself all the time. I do it on here. I'm sure if you watch my content, you you hear me criticize myself, because I make mistakes. I'm human, Just like I voted for Trump. It's like I supported the guy, and it was a huge mistake, So I just try to do the best I can with what I can work with, and these rich people can go fuck themselves. These popular people can go fuck themselves, unless you're cool. You're open-minded. You're not in a fucking cult. I guess I've known about the MAGA cult for a while, but like I said, I thought that I like Trump. I thought that he was the one. I thought he got shot in the ear. I thought he was the one. I thought he was gonna like really fix this shit. I thought he was gonna come through with what he said, but he turned out to be any other politician, any other fucking snake oil salesman that, hopefully I eat crow. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe he turns it around. Who knows? For right now, I'm not fucking happy, and I'm definitely not MAGA. And I'm not gonna fucking vote. I'm not gonna go vote for Democrat. I'm just not gonna waste my time. You know what I mean? I got better things to do. Even if it's just sitting here, complaining on here, or playing a video game, not doing shit. The last thing I'm worried about is fucking voting for Republicans or Democrats. Like, if that's what you want to do, go ahead. I'm not telling people what to do or not what to do or what not to do. I'm just gonna stay out of it, and I'm not going to try to get my kids to vote. And fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. I hope that this is a quick thing with Iran. I don't think so, but we'll see. It's on us. We have to pay for this shit yet again, and Israel don't have to pay for nothing. We just have to continuously fund these people, and they're a welfare fucking sponge. They're just a welfare sponge, and then we have to fight their wars for them too. So it's just like, I'm completely anti-Israel at this point. So I think they're our biggest enemy, because they get us into all these fucking problems for no reason. So what I say, fuck Israel.